Okay, last video of the day because I'm really tired and my voice is going out anyway. So, I got a question about study groups versus studying alone, which is a great question. As you can probably guess, study groups can be helpful until you get too many people or you get the wrong type of person. Um, if you get five people that collab really well, then great. But you can just be in a study group with you and another person. If you know that person always goes on a tangent and starts to talk about other things for an hour or 30 minutes, yeah, no. Next time, don't study with that person. So it just depends. You kind of need to get to know people before you decide who you. And study groups are not like these kind of to me. Well, I have part-time experience, so we are working adults, not just straight out of undergrad and petty. So study groups are not. You can only study with this group of people. That's it. You already made your study group, and there's no more. You can't change it next year. It's whoever is your classmate at the time and you want to study with them and they're cool, then say, hey, let's get together on Saturday. Is that it's really that simple. I mean, it's not this. We have enough people in our study group. You can't be with us and that kind of stuff. It's not like the movie with Elle Woods or whatever. So study. I have both experience studying alone and study groups. And a friend of mine specifically, she likes study groups because initially you get all the stuff out of the way. If it's a huge class or you guys had a lot of cases, it was so helpful one semester when we all just basically took, I think it was Constitution Law. Everyone took a section, okay? And again, there's lots of type A students, so everyone wants to be very like, what are we doing? Let's make sure, which is great. Um, so everyone took a chunk of, what am I trying to say? A chunk of cases and did those cases and outlined them and kind of tied them in to the chapter at the time. And everyone sat down initially and was like, here's what we have to do. Here's the big picture. And then I'm going to do this. You're going to do this. This is how we're going to, this is the format. So nobody does their own thing and does what they want to do because, you know, I might want this information whereas you didn't provide it. So everybody had to follow the same format for what information we wanted to provide, and we all put in on what we would like to see. And then we went our separate ways and just kind of set a date. It's due by this day. You need to turn your so that you can come up with the outline together. And so we did that. And then we met again to go over if anyone had any questions or if anyone had anything to clear up or I didn't get this in my notes. Did you hear them say this? And then we just kind of talked it out. That was great. After that, studying in a group is just kind of like, why? We're not going to talk. We're just going to sit there together. So there's a certain point where studying in a group is counterproductive. You have to leave. You have to go to this specific place that everybody wants you to study at. People that want to study at Starbucks, I don't understand. I people watch. It's loud. It can get loud. No, it doesn't work for me. That's why I say you have to find out what works for you. Um, and then on top of that, you get with a group of people that are studying during finals, and sometimes they want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this, and I'm so tired of that, and oh, I'm ready for finals to be over. And the conversation goes about that instead of studying. So once you get the big picture, you guys get an understanding. Then you have to start working out the finite details and getting an understanding of how to answer certain questions and certain things. Then you study on your own. That's what I did, and that's what my group. It was just kind of like not something we specifically said we have to have, but my first year, you're in the same classes with the same people. After that, it was different study groups. But that's pretty much what my group decided, because that's how we all were. At this point, I just need to hammer this out and understand it for myself. Sitting with you is not going to necessarily help that. Now, were we able to email and call and text each other or do an impromptu meeting if everyone was having issues with the same thing, or if someone was like, I need this explained, can we meet up? Yeah. But once it gets down to now I just have to memorize and get an understanding, that you need to do on your own. There are very few topics where it's someone asking you a question and you answering it like, that's a battery. I mean, you can do that, but there's some other details that you're gonna have to read and know for yourself and just be by yourself to fully understand them. And for me, sometimes that comfort level is in my office at work. It's never at home because I always feel like I should be doing something else, like laundry or something. And for some other people, that was at home. So it depends on what works for you, but that's what works for me. So study groups versus studying alone, I kind of combined the two, unless it was something that um, I don't know. If I didn't have anything to contribute because I was a terrible student that semester, um, I didn't study with the study group because that's unfair. And I just, for my own personal reasons, I didn't do it. You can, but I just didn't think it was okay for me to do that. So the resource room would have this big book called Understanding blah blah blah, trademark and fair competition and unfair competition, for example. I just went and read that book, and it took me 3 days to get through it, and I just went and read it to kind of get a complete overview, because maybe I wasn't as attentive in classes. I should have been that semester, or whatever was going on. So again, it's all about what works for you, but that's what worked for me, just because too many people in a study group is distracting, and studying in a group the whole time, it's unnecessary, really, especially when you want to just be quiet and focus on what you need to focus on. um, and for some other classmates, that wasn't always the key for them. So it's different, but it depends on the class as well. But if you have any other questions about studying, or specifically what we did, or basically my journey through in and out of my study groups, please comment and let me know, and I'll try to do a video on it. That's pretty much it, and I'm done for the day because I've done 3 videos at this point. Have a good day and subscribe, like. I will see you on my next video, which I don't know when it'll be. Bye.